All right, you should be able to see everyone in the waiting room now.
Let's see, should I hit see waiting room? I should.
Yep.
Gloria, Henry, somebody else. Oh, Lorraine.
Yep. So if you just hit admit next to their name, you should be able to let everybody in.
What am I supposed, oh, admit?
Yep.
Admit all.
There you go.
Thank you.
Of course. Have a good meeting.
Thank you very much.
Hello?
Hi, I hear you talking, but I don't see anyone.
Yeah, I hear you too, but I don't see anybody either.
Let's see.
Oh, I see Henry.
I see Henry.
Yeah, I'm the only one I see.
Oh.
Oh, I see Lorraine.
I see her.
Hi, hi, everybody.
Okay.
Let me see,
Well,
let me
I'm
get out.
here, but
Henry, can you
oh,
hear
I'm
me?
here, but not my face.
I can hear you, Dave. Can't see you. All I
Okay.
can see is Lorraine.
I wonder why I'm not on video.
Yeah, go up to the top and press the video. Sometimes there's a slash to it.
Where do you see video?
It was on the top right-hand corner. And it
No.
said join
Are you
with
on
video.
the laptop, Gloria?
I'm on an, yes, I am on a laptop.
Look on the bottom then. Sometimes you gotta take your little mouse and just scroll it down a little bit. And all these things, like a taskbar will show up.
I just saw you, Dave. There you are.
It's
Yes,
on the
David.
bottom. It was on the bottom.
Yeah, it's on the bottom.
So
iPad.
hit the screen, Gloria, and then it popped up for me. Oh,
There
you
we
are.
go.
Oh,
Great.
okay, yeah. Oh, start video. Got it.
Hey, David,
Great.
any ways you can sign us on 5 minutes earlier so we can solve these problems?
Yeah,
That would be nice. Actually, Katie apologized because she said she was on a phone call for an extra couple minutes.
Okay.
oh,
Yeah, I don't set this up at all.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, Henry, I agree with you, Henry. I was on it 10 of, yeah,
Me too. Yeah, me too.
yep.
You know
I
what?
know
I'll
You know
ask
that
you.
we go on 10 minutes early because everybody has problems with, doing this or doing that.
Yeah.
Oh. Uh-oh.
I even messed up my eye exam. It was supposed to be tomorrow and I showed up today. Luckily, Dr. Geller took me in. I'm there. I can't believe I did this. I never ever do that. What's going on with me? You know?
Is that the place downtown, Lorraine?
Yeah, it's called Bay State Eye now.
Yeah,
Dr.
I've
Geller's
gone there.
office.
I went there a long time ago. It looks like they renovated it and fixed it up a little bit.
It's night and day. It's beautiful. It's really nice. And I ordered some eyeglasses, Gloria, like yours.
Aha.
Yeah. Because I wear contacts and I don't have any updated eyeglasses, so I'm
There you
stuck,
go.
you know? These are readers. That's what these are.
Oh,
Just
okay.
readers. But, yeah.
Hi, Karen.
Hi, sorry I'm late. I ran late with the students.
Well, you know what,
Hi, Karen.
We were
Hi,
late
Karen.
too.
Hi.
Hello.
Yeah, it's been kind of a messy start because it's all set up by the town, so we were a little bit late.
Phew.
But
Okay.
we're all here now, so welcome everybody.
Thank you.
Welcome.
And Henry, I think that was a great idea about next time we'll see if Katie can get us on about 10 minutes before, so
Yep.
that we'll be kind of all
Oh,
ready to go by 3 o'clock. So
oh.
good idea.
Yeah.
Well, I hope everybody is well. It's nice to see everybody. I'm feeling very positive today, though. It's warm out. I think it's about 70. It's sunny.
No.
Everything's opening up again. You don't have to wear your mask outside anymore starting this week. I mean, it's great.
It's wonderful. Wonderful.
So, got a lot to discuss. We will call the meeting to order. I think it's about 8 minutes after 3, so 3:08. And we have myself, Lorraine, Henry, Karen, Gloria, And I have not heard from Anna. Henry, did you?
No, I haven't.
I didn't even ask you to call this time. I've sent out 3 or 4 messages and reminders and so forth. So I don't think there's too much more we can do.
Mhm.
So we'll start with number 1. And I'm going to kind of tie it on my agenda for today, which is set up meeting with town parks, recreation to address handicap signage at Marathon Park. And I'm also going to tie it with number 5. Set up
I keep
meeting with
losing you.
Mike Dutton, Kim Williams to discuss, clarify a direction and stance for the Disability Commission that would be beneficial for the town of Bridgewater, but also enhance the Disabilities Commission visibility within the town, a mouthful. So I went to town hall and I met a very nice woman that works in the basement, Ruthie. And
Oh,
I'm not
Ruthie, card.
sure what
Yeah.
her last name is, but very nice. She seems to be the only person in the basement down there. It's kind of an unenviable position. I looked around and there was nobody else. It was just that one office open down there right now.
She's
So-
been with the town for a while, David, for a
Has
long
she?
time. She's very knowledgeable.
Well,
Yeah,
she is.
yeah.
So I wanted to meet and speak in person with Charlie Simons again. And he wasn't there, but she contacted him. So what he had to say was, let's see, he apologized. He realized that we've been talking about the disability parking spots at Marathon Park for about 2 years now, at least.
Yeah.
The concern had been discussed more than several times over the years. He apologized for the delay and he explained how there's going to be a repaving project on the parking lot of Marathon Park. And they're also set for 2 disability parking spots under a capital plan for the town of Bridgewater. So I said, to Mike Dutton, while I understand the expenses have to be controlled, it's been 2 years now. So in the meantime, I feel that they could set up through Bridgewater 2 disability parking spots, at least temporarily, in front of Marathon Park. Charlie Simon suggested I contact Mike Dutton to try to get this accomplished.
Mhm.
So following up, I followed up with Mike Dutton for 2 reasons. Number 1, I let him know I spoke with Charlie Simons, that he let me know that, they're going to take care of repaving in Marathon Park in the 2 disability spots eventually under the capital project, but wanted to know what they could do for the 2 disability spots now. Mike Dutton responded, he said again, it's in their capital appropriation request. It should be coming up soon, which again, we've been hearing for 2 years.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can have something in place before we get heavily into summer.
Mhm.
So that's how we left the 2 handicap spots in Marathon Park. But then I kind of also wanted to meet with Mike Dutton for several reasons. I sent him a letter and said that we would like to meet and bring along several members of the Disability Commission. I think it's a great opportunity to speak with Mike, but then we can kind of clarify and focus the Disability Commission to the benefit of Bridgewater. We have some ideas. I'm hoping he's got some ideas, and working together, we can hopefully get some great things accomplished for the town of Bridgewater. So he said he'd be happy to meet. He said that Katie would set up an appointment, which she will set up. So we have 2 ways to go.
Mhm.
Number 1, we can't have more than 2 people meet with Mike Dutton, because if you have more than 2 people, which I didn't really think about this, but if you have quorum, which is 3 people, then you have to call it a meeting for the Disability Commission. You have to post it
Yeah.
40 hours in advance and all that.
Right.
So we could have 2 people meet with Mike in person,
Mhm.
or we could see if we can get him to join us for our next meeting and have him talk with all of us, and we could all share our ideas and so forth.
That would be good.
I thought that might be the way to go, and I just want to see what you guys have to say.
Yeah, I think that would be a lot better if we could do that. You know, we can all talk to him.
I agree with Henry. I think that's the way to go with everybody being involved.
Right, I do
Okay.
too.
Yeah.
Good. So what I'll do, I'll respond back to Katie and say that I'll at the end of the meeting, we'll talk about the date, but we'll see if we can get him to join us for our next Disability Commission meeting. So then I would ask you in advance that if we're going to have Mike join us, to think of a question or, something you'd like to discuss with him, for a direction for the Disability Commission. This would be a good chance to really, open up and see what he would like to see, what direction he would like to see us go in. And we could kind of talk about what direction we would like to see us go in.
Yep.
That's a great idea, David. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so we'll do that. So that kind of covers Marathon Park for now, and also meeting with Mike. And I think one thing that I would like to do is just ask Mike at this meeting, why is it that everything takes so long, even if it's not like a big.
I have to laugh.
Yes, that's why.
I mean,
I've been involved in town government for almost 25 years, so it's a snail's pace. It hasn't
see.
changed.
I think they just redid the pavers at the town hall. I mean, they found the money for that.
Yeah.
right away.
Complaint only came up, not too long ago, and look how quick they took care of that.
Well,
I know.
Somebody complained to the State Disability Commission, I believe, and I guess the squeaky wheel gets greased, but certainly that happened very quickly. But then we're looking at projects like the side entrance to the Academy building. And how many years has it been, Henry? 3? That
Oh,
door?
yeah. Oh, yeah, they had the money for it 3 years ago.
And it's still not done. So yeah, I don't know. And back to the 2 disability spots. I mean, to me, it can't cost more than $500 to put up 2 signs. I mean, it can't be too expensive.
No,
You dig a hole, you set it in cement.
I know exactly. We could do it, right?
Yeah, probably. Well, if I do it, Lorraine, it's going to be crooked. I can tell you, it's at a 45-degree angle.
I'll send Mike over, David, okay? My husband.
David, are we outside of the law by not having a handicapped accessible town park?
Well, I don't know if it would be outside the law, because what they did over there, they have a girls' softball field to the left of Marathon.
Yeah.
Park. And so what they did is they put the disability parking spots, and a lot of them, like maybe a half dozen at least, right there at that entrance. So it's nowhere near the entrance to Marathon Park. So it's in the same parking lot. So I suppose they could say that they do have disability spots, but it's on the far end of it. And, you're making a good point, Karen, because I could bring that up to Mike, that it really, whether it be within the law or not, it's certainly not fair to people with disability that have no parking right at the entrance.
Right.
I mean,
And-
to use the terms of our current world, it would be counted as a microaggression. Like, yeah, we're going to give you handicap parking, really way where you don't want to go unless you are into girls softball.
Exactly, exactly. And it is a hike, and it's just not right. It's not right at all,
It's almost hostile, and that
Yeah.
it could be interpreted by some of our more vocal
Mhm,
disability rights advocates as being hostile.
exactly.
If they're gonna be,
I need to utilize you, Karen, for your linguistics, because
I don't know what she's talking about.
in the way I would phrase it. And I will say this, because I've gone to, even this year, we're only entering May pretty soon, and I've been to the park 4 or 5 times just waiting to see if they do anything.
Mhm.
And honestly, everybody parks right in front of the entrance. So there wasn't one time that I went there that there was an available parking spot within the first 6 or 8 right in front of the entrance. So somebody that is disabled would have to park a long distance in a dirt parking lot.
Yeah.
So I would think they could do something at least temporarily. They could always remove the signs again.
Yeah,
I'm gonna, actually, Karen, I'm gonna ask you to phrase that to me because I will be happy to use the exact language when we talk, because that sounded really excellent.
Hey, David, if
Yes.
they're gonna pave the driveway, the paving companies could also just paint disability spots right on the ground.
Mm,
They will do that eventually, but in the meantime, they could at least put the two signs up,
Yeah.
temporarily, and then they could always move them again, when they get to, because again, it's not a big project.
Well,
So David, my thought is this something that, it's always great to put things in writing and you've got a memo of it or whatever. Is this something, using Karen's terminology, you could put something in writing saying, on behalf of the Disabilities Commission, we just met and we all have agreed to, whatever wording you want to use. As far as the two disability spots, we think it's very urgent, to consider the situation and move forward ASAP, or however you want to word it. And Karen would be wonderful. with
I'm working on
terminology.
it.
Good.
Oh, good. But
Thank
maybe
you. And
something
you
in
know
a
what?
letter that shows a little bit of force or whatever, a little bit of,
Well, I think there's another good phrase for us, and I think myself and I think as a group, we probably have
This is
been.
what keeps happening.
and
People
two-
keep freezing and I'm not hearing what they're saying. And it says your internet connection is weak.
Oh,
we're hearing her.
I can hear you, Gloria.
You
Yeah.
can't, and you all keep freezing. And so you'll be talking and then I don't hear you. And then the next person is talking. This keeps happening. And I tried to connect on the iPad and it won't let me. So I apologize because I'm going to miss out on things here.
Oh, yeah.
Are you near your connection at home, or is it in a different room? Because I know my modem.
Happened again.
Oh no.
Oh,
Can't hear him. It's all I heard was, are you near? And then I heard nothing.
I was just saying my modem connection is in the basement in my house. So if we're too far away, sometimes, we don't get a good connection.
mm.
Yeah, no, it's right in the next room.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
So I'll just do my best.
Okay, well, that's all you can do.
Well, you know what we do with some of our meetings sometimes, David? I wonder if I could call Gloria and just put her on speakerphone and she would be able to hear the
Oh, that's a good idea.
conversation.
Sure.
Do you want me to call you, Gloria, on your cell phone? And then just keep you
Sure.
on? We do
Sure.
that sometimes at some of our other meetings. I can do that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sounds like
Yeah.
a great idea. Okay. I was just waiting when you're done with that. The next thing I wanted to discuss was meeting with the Bridgewater Housing Authority, and that's, I would just want to get your input on that, Lorraine.
Is that muffled, Gloria? It might make it muffled now.
I hear you.
It's bouncing off. I gotta shut it off. Sorry.
Wow.
I'm sorry. Sorry, I tried. I'm sorry, David.
No,
heard
I
my
didn't
name
really say
mentioned.
anything yet. Boy, I'll tell you though, Lorraine, it's so hard with this whole Zoom thing. And
I have Zoom fatigue, to be honest with you. Yeah,
is that an actual illness, Zoom fatigue?
it's a word that's going around quite frequently.
Well, you know what? Things seem to be opening up. Maybe we can actually get back into regular meetings again in the near future.
Right, and it doesn't necessarily have to be meeting at the Academy building. We could maybe find somewhere else for a spot just to sit down and all meet or something. I don't know,
Well, you know what? Even at the senior center, or outside, they have all that
Yeah.
tent coverage. You have a half dozen chairs out there, and you're all set.
That's perfect. Yeah,
Especially for the warm weather coming. That might be great for our next meeting. Let's think about it.
that sounds great. Yes.
Sounds wonderful.
Mhm.
And I do know for a fact that they are allowed to meet with groups of people up to 10 there, and we don't have 10, so we would be fine.
Mhm. Yeah.
So the
Have
next,
put something in the chat for everyone to think about.
okay,
Okay.
let's see.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
You know how to get to the chat, David.
I did. Now I'm on a Zoom homepage. And now
Excellent, Karen. Excellent.
Right. Yep. Very
Oh,
good,
my gosh.
Karen.
Okay, thank you.
Very nice. Thank you. That's wonderful.
What I will do, David, is I will email that to you.
Okay, great. And somehow I got out of the picture. I never have, and the thing that kills me, I never have problems. And today I seem to be having a problem. Okay. Well, everyone can hear me still anyways, correct?
Yes. Yes.
And no one really wants to look at me anyway, so
Well, we see you just fine.
Let's see.
We see you. Yes, we do, Karen. Yeah, we see David.
Really?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, we see
Oh,
you.
that's so funny because right now I'm looking at my email of the Bridgewater Disability Commission agenda, and that's what I'm looking at. And I don't know how to get out of that without screwing up on the meeting. So I'm not going to do anything.
Okay.
So, okay. So the next thing we wanted to talk about was the set up a meeting with the Bridgewater Housing Authority Commission to develop and build a working relationship. Opinions, Lorraine, was this something that could work? What do you think?
This is something that I would like to be engaged in. Obviously, I've stepped off of the Housing Authority, but I'm still involved with, I attend their meetings. And I did tell they're under a management agreement. It's with Taunton Housing Authority until they do hire a director for Bridgewater. But I did speak to Colleen Doherty, who is, the one running the Housing Authority here. And I did tell her that I would like to meet with her and see if there's something that we can maybe work out or whatever, work on, as far as that. So that's something I can definitely look into.
Okay. Would you like another member of our commission to work with you? Are you good on your own? How would you like to handle that?
I mean, for the time being, I can set it up and figure out where we're at, and then maybe I can have another member jump on board afterwards or something with me, depending upon what we're working on. I could do that,
Okay.
if that's
Sounds
all right.
Yeah, no, it sounds great. Anyone else want to bring up anything about that, or are we good? I guess we're good. I can't see anyone, so all I have to do is imagine you're shaking your head.
This is awful.
The next thing was number 3, set up a meeting with the strategic land benches to discuss, clarify variances at project 85 Plymouth Street. They sent me a package. Meeting in person is not feasible. I responded to them twice to set up a Zoom meeting, and they haven't got back to me yet. I'll follow up again. It's basically to clarify the work they're doing to make the building accessible for people with disabilities. But what they normally do is walk you through in person, and we're going to have a Zoom meeting in regards to that.
David, I'm going to suggest that you let anybody who's involved in giving them occupancy permits know that they haven't met with you yet.
Okay.
Because unless somebody puts their hand to the fire, they may choose to ignore you.
Occupancy permits. Okay, I wrote that down. There was 3 people listed on the material they sent out, and I will contact them. Good idea.
But then also let the town know, like, look, I've contacted them twice. Well, I contacted them once. They said we had to meet by Zoom. I tried to set that up twice. They haven't gotten back to me. They can't rent that place until they have an occupancy permit. And if they won't meet with you, I don't want them to have an occupancy permit.
Okay, that's a great idea.
David, I have another idea. I'm not sure if
Okay.
you're able to do it, but if you could put it on closed captioning, it would scroll across the screen and Gloria would be able to at least see what we're talking about. Are you able to do that, do you think?
No, because as I said, for some reason, I ended up in a completely different screen. It's showing my email and I'm not seeing anybody right now. So I didn't want to lose anyone. So I haven't
Right.
used anything, but I'm not able to do anything with it.
Oh, okay, I didn't know if you
It's
had
okay.
that.
I'm just, see, it happened again. I'm catching what I can.
What I
Yeah.
will tell you, Gloria, is that it's being recorded so that maybe David could send you that link once it's done.
That would be great.
Okay.
That'd be
Great
great.
idea, Karen. Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's not the same as participating live, but at least it can get you caught up on the parts
I
you miss.
know.
Right, right.
Hopefully, maybe we can do it, face to face next month. hopefully.
I'm hoping, and I
Yeah.
think we should go in that direction. It'll make it a lot easier.
Yeah,
And it's a lot nicer to meet face to face anyways.
exactly. Yeah.
Number 4 is set up a meeting with Senior Center Director Emily Williams to discuss and clarify a project that could be worked on in conjunction with the Disability Commission.
Mhm.
I addressed this with Emily, and we set up a time and date of Cinco de Mayo, Wednesday next week
Mhm.
at 11 a.m. And in a formal discussion. And would anyone else like to join me at the Senior Center for this meeting?
Sure. Can I? I'm not an official member, but may I?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this
So-
will be,
You would only need 2 though, right? If you had a third person, it constitutes a meeting,
can
right?
constitute.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know how that
Mhm.
works because there's 2 people from the Disability Commission and there's a non-member. I wonder if it's just semantics or could we have 2 members and a non-member join us to talk with Emily, or would that still be 3 people?
yeah, it's okay if it doesn't work.
Well,
No, I mean-
David, you're on both, so maybe you could count as the Elder Affairs Commission person, and then there could be 2 people from disability.
Wow, that's shifty but great. I like that. Okay.
Karen's
Okay.
got a lot of great ideas going
I
there.
guess she does. Okay.
And they're all apparently shifty, but that's okay. I'm good with that.
Well, you know what? Let me take that back because that could be misconstrued. I will say clever ideas.
I am going with shifty. I am good with that.
But wow, that's excellent. And you're right. I'm on both, so I can
Yeah.
count as Elder Fish Commission. So that's great. So Gloria, can you hear us still?
I missed it all.
Okay, well, you are, I guess the bottom line is you're welcome to join us
Mhm.
officially next week on Wednesday, Cinco de Mayo at 11 a.m. at the Senior Center.
Mhm.
Got it.
Okay, and I understand, Henry, you said you would like to be there too, correct?
Sure.
You again.
Great, so there'll be the 3 of us there, 2 representing the Disability Commission and 1 representing Elder Affairs Commission.
What time did you say, David?
11 a.m.
Okay.
David, is there a specific project or are you just brainstorming about possible projects?
We're brainstorming because Emily is actually working in conjunction with a lot of different groups. And I would like to just get her feedback of how we could better, work with the Senior Center. And we're just kind of brainstorming. Do you have some ideas you'd like to share?
Not right now, but I'm going to be meeting with folks from our movement arts and leisure studies folks. I know the Senior Center is getting a pickleball. How can we make that accessible to
Yeah.
people who have movement limitations? Because when we're talking about seniors, we are talking about people who may have Parkinson's disease or arthritis or whatever. And so how can we how can we advocate for not just our healthy seniors who are out doing cool stuff, but also our seniors who have different limitations? So Emily and I, from a disability standpoint, Emily and I are already we have started implementing a memory cafe for citizens in the town who have memory loss.
Right.
And I'm hoping to get more people to attend because it's hard getting anything started, but I think the more we normalize it, and it's just like, these are fun activities and you learn how you might be able to do that with a friend in another town. who has memory loss. I mean, we all are getting older and we all know folks who are starting to have challenges.
Yeah.
So we've started that, but we're hoping to have programming for seniors of every ability. And I think the Disability Commission can really play an important role in advocating for that.
Absolutely.
Oh, that sounds
Yeah.
good. Now, how are you getting the word out? I just had a curiosity for the Memory Cafe. How are you getting the word out about the programs for that?
So Emily is sending it out in the newsletters,
Okay.
and then it's going out on the Senior Center Facebook page, and they were supposed to cross post on the town Facebook page, and I forget all else. There's an intern there from the Communication Studies program who's kind of helping us develop kind of a marketing plan.
Okay.
So we need to build support, but my intern Aubrey has been instrumental in getting some of the initial programming going, and we want to get more, but they attend a program either in person or on Zoom, and then the interns drop off lunch at their house if they didn't come in.
Oh, that's nice.
That's wonderful. That's
Karen,
wonderful.
Karen, I'm very excited about the pickleball course, and actually, my intention is to learn myself how to play pickleball, and be involved over there. In what way were you saying that you would like to see them make it more disability ready? Like, what could they do to make it more available for people with disabilities?
I'm not sure, and so I'm talking to a faculty person tomorrow at 10 about that.
Okay.
Because I was just at a presentation last night where they talked about Parkinson's disease in pickleball, and they just kind of mentioned it, but they didn't give any details. And I want the details, and if it takes having an intern from that program at our senior center, then I want to see that happen too.
Oh,
Wow.
that's great.
That's great. That's
Yes, it
excellent.
is.
Well, we've got a whole university full of people who need hands-on experience, and there's no good reason why the town should be not getting the benefit of that.
Well, that's what I always
Going up to
said.
Brockton.
Many years ago, Karen, I mean, they're our best kept secret, years ago. It's like, let's utilize them. And we always had for quite a while. They're quite a resource, and I mean, just wonderful partnerships with them.
And I think a lot of the
Bridgewater
faculty
State.
that had been involved have just retired.
Yes,
Like Sam and that crew. And I think
exactly.
I think it just kind of fell out of institutional knowledge. And so Mara and me and a few others were just like, well, let's get in there, because there's stuff that we've got social work in there right now,
Exactly.
psychology. Yep.
It's a wonderful experience for the interns also.
Oh,
Really is.
absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, I have 6 was talking about
This is awesome. See how
meeting committee members for Stone Meadow and High Pond. I think I have a lot of things we've been
your
just
internet connection is unstable.
too much, and I probably skip number 6 for this month and move on to number 7. And actually, I would like to leave that more open for Karen, because Karen, you appear to be a wealth of knowledge,
It does.
and I would kind of like
It's very
to.
frustrating.
I would like to have Karen suggest
Those are the two things that keep saying.
work with the college of your choosing, and so that we can kind of work together. And you're kind of doing some of these things already, and I would like to, with your coaching, be involved with the university, and maybe you could give us some guidance what would best suit our commission, and what you think would benefit the university, working with us.
I have 2 ideas that I've been thinking about. One is, how do we support the students with disabilities who attend Bridgewater, who live in the town of Bridgewater? So not everybody lives on campus, and especially with some of the new apartments going up with right on the same street as the university, especially over there on East Campus, that new construction. It'd be nice to think that our wheelchair-bound students could live in an apartment like every other senior and junior in town. So that would be great. So what can we do to make sure that they are able to access not just the university, but town? Because that's the advantage of living in an apartment. You're part of the town. And then the other thing is, there are people, we have actually student accessibility services who have their finger on the pulse of the students who have differing needs. And they would be a great resource for us in terms of setting up focus groups or whatever needs to happen. And then the other thing is kind of what I was just talking about with Lorraine is we've got students from all kinds of departments that may be useful to the programming we're doing. So how do we, like right now, we don't have a lot of young people on this board. I'm just going to say that. Nobody in their 20s or 30s.
Or 40s.
Or 40s. Okay, fine. So, just a couple of us who still aren't on Medicare yet, so it's soon. Anyway, but social media is not my first language. And I don't know how to get the word out to people. And I think there are people in marketing and communications who can be really valuable. And perhaps even if we don't have enough to keep them busy, but that might be one way to collaborate with the senior center or maybe rec parks. How do we work together to meet, to host an internship that meets the needs of multiple entities in town? Because I think there's a lot that we could be doing.
The one thing that I want to talk when we meet with Mike Dutton, it was kind of my intention to talk to him about possibly funding a senior playground for the senior center. And I've seen these in other locales, and it's kind of like the same idea as a playground for children, but for seniors and people with disabilities, and a fun thing. But most of my ideas tend to be geared to seniors, and I really like your ideas about supporting BSU students with disabilities. And I'd like to bring that up to Mike Dutton also, because that's actually, for once dealing with younger folks and not making the Disability Commission just geared towards seniors with disability, but, just students or just folks in general. So I like that idea, and I like to bring that up to Mike. And I actually would like your input of the wording we should use with Mike, because again, you make everything sound so much better, Karen, and I really appreciate that.
Yeah. And David, I have to agree with you. If you recall, when you had given a presentation to the town council, Tim Fitzgibbon said to you, regarding our commission, please do not forget the youth in the community and, younger individuals. I think obviously, especially myself having been involved with the senior center for so long, I think older adults, but like you said, we're a disabilities commission for the town of Bridgewater. So we have to think of engage the whole population. And it's really important, like you said, to think of, not only seniors, but every age group.
And that would be the other thing to approach, maybe some of the folks at like Bridgewater Raynham High School. They have access to the folks at high school who have physical limitations, who have other disabilities. And, when we're talking about even the handicap parking, is there a reason why our residents who are in their 20s who are wheelchair bound shouldn't access Marathon Park?
Yeah, right. Yeah. True.
That's true. That's very true. I think that's a great way to focus at one of our focuses as we go forward. Because, and again, I feel, because I've been so involved with Senior Center, and all our projects have included Bridgewater housing and meetings at over 55 communities that we're kind of getting in one direction. But I think this is definitely the way to go. So,
David, what I will do is I will send an email, because I know the people at Disability Services, just because I'm a professor and they're in my classes. And so I know that office. And so what I can do is send an email to you and them and say, let's set up a meeting this summer, before folks come back in the fall. Let's get the ball rolling.
Good. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, that's a lot. I mean, we've got quite a bit here and some good ideas. So to summarize, we will be meeting with Mike Dutton in the very near future. Actually, we'll be meeting with Mike on our next call. We'll be meeting with Emily Williams, Gloria, myself, and Henry next Wednesday. at 11 a.m. Karen is going to send me and all of us some information in regards to the topics we've discussed in regard to the college and so forth.
Yeah.
And I think that's quite a bit that we've discussed in a couple good directions for one day.
And David, I will continue working with the Bridgewater Housing Authority, either the commission members or the residents, the H&H Residents Association, and just as far as maybe, just continuing to work on a relationship with them and
Good.
what we can do also.
And one thing I wanted to mention, Lorraine, about the Bridgewater housing and why I was kind of interested in getting involved over there.
Mhm.
During COVID, I've been delivering pre-show meals, around town and so forth. And it was something I hadn't done before. And I'm actually able to see people's residents. And, there's a lot of people that are struggling to keep going. I mean, their homes are kind of rough.
Yeah.
I've had two times that we've gone to Bridgewater Housing to deliver newsletters. And, there's some people, they're afraid to open their doors. They don't leave at all. And, I think they're very, very isolated over
Very
there.
isolated. Yeah.
More so than almost anywhere I've seen in Bridgewater. And there's a lot of isolation over there. Some of them don't have cars. And, they're just there by themselves. And a lot of them don't seem to have too much family or friends to keep them going. And, I'm not sure exactly how we're going to reach out to them, but it's certainly a concern to the town of Bridgewater. And I'd like to see what we could do to help in that area.
So David, you made me think about a couple years back, I was engaged in, I can't recall the department, but we actually there were students from certain areas in Mass. I forget exactly where, and I forget what the program was, but it was a summer program, and they did a pilot where they actually had students, I don't know if they were residing at the college over the summer for a couple weeks, but they were engaged in 3 separate projects with the senior center and also housing. One of them was they did a car wash. That was so much fun. Another one was a bingo program, and that was hysterical. And then there was a third program that they were involved in. But what it was interaction between older adults, seniors at housing. It was so much fun, and it was just such an impact, even on the students that, I think they were 8th graders and maybe freshmen in high school from other schools in the area, and it was a summer program. Karen, do you remember what that was called or something?
I'm new to the area, so I wasn't
okay.
around for that. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it was a couple years ago, and it was just so much fun. But what my point is, just to engage students, with seniors and those that are living in housing, to continue that engagement somehow.
How did we reach out to them? I mean, it sounds like a great program, but how did we reach out?
I actually had someone involved in that program, and what I'll do is I'll see if I have any notes on that. I mean, I might maybe have a folder on it. I'm not sure. I can't even recall what the name of the summer program, what it was called, but I think it was underprivileged youth, and they were from New Bedford in certain areas around the community, and they were involved in this 2 or 3 week program in July, and it was a ball. It was a lot of fun. But
it sounds like a lot of fun.
My point is, just to continue that engagement with all students or whoever that are on campus or whatever, and there's just so many things that we could do, so.
The thing that, and I'm sure it was there before. The thing that kind of shocked me during this COVID is because, we've gone out to deliver meals and so forth. A lot of stuff we took for granted. You never realize what's going on at people, within their apartment or their home or whatever. I mean, I'm sure there was a lot of isolation before, but now we're seeing a lot more of it. And maybe it has gotten worse because people's family and friends can't visit. We're going to visit my nephew, who's 16, has his confirmation tonight. And
Oh,
we're going to Westport. This is the first time we've been to Westport since Christmas of 2019.
Oh,
And
wow.
these are people we
Nice.
see every, 6-8 weeks normally. So this is a ridiculous length of time.
Yeah,
So it's very isolating.
yeah, it definitely is.
But Zoom has also decreased isolation for some people. So we're finding that seniors who were afraid to go out in the winter because of ice and snow still participated on Zoom and
Mhm.
could still have telemedicine visits with their doctor.
Yeah,
And so it's kind of like, well, we were happy to see each other, but let's not throw the baby out with the bathwater. Let's
yeah,
keep some of this online programming going. So in my conversations about the Memory Cafe, I keep pushing Emily, and she's in agreement. So this is not like I'm trying to convince her, but
Yeah.
I think all of our offerings, at least for the cafe, need to be hybrid, that we need to have an online component
Mhm.
for folks, because having had parents who had challenges, sometimes by the time they got dressed to go out, they were too tired to go.
Yeah. That's true.
And or they just didn't feel up to it, but they would have logged on and participated somewhat. So I'm really encouraging the Memory Cafe folks to keep it hybrid, to have a
Yep.
virtual component, have a physical component. So
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
think there's a lot that we can do even as a disability commission about what counts as equity. Do we always have to have everything for everybody in person? Can we do some things for our disabled citizens that are also online? How do we
Yeah.
make it so everyone can access what needs to happen?
Exactly.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
I would ask, as I said, we're going to be meeting with Emily on Wednesday and Mike, hopefully in the in a month. So if you could get your ideas together
Mhm.
and send them out to us, so we have these talking points, it would be very helpful.
Okay.
I wanted to, I know I put down for the next meeting on May 19th, but today is already the 28th. And what I'd like to do to keep it approximately a month is make it May 26th at 3 o'clock.
Yep.
Does that work for everyone?
What was that date again, David? I'm
May
sorry.
26th, which is a Wednesday at
Mhm.
3 o'clock.
Yeah.
26. Okay.
Is a one okay? Lorraine was okay. Karen?
I'm okay.
Good. Gloria, you still there?
I'm there, but you know what? I apologize. I've missed like 80% of the meeting. So if you can send me the link, and then I don't want to get up from this screen for fear that I'll lose it. So I can't see my calendar right now. So
Okay.
okay, it's like, this has been so frustrating. I'm so
I-
Can you
sorry.
see that, Gloria? The next meeting date?
Yeah, May 26th, 3 p.m.
Yes.
Yep, frozen again. This is awful. Now it keeps saying, it says, your internet connection is unstable and your network bandwidth is low.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
I don't even know what that means.
I get that message too. I get very frustrated. I have Verizon here at home, and
Mm-hmm,
yep.
mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
not so good.
Yeah,
All
this
right,
is
and
how
I
I
apologize,
teach,
I didn't
Gloria. It's so
participate, but I couldn't.
frustrating. It's just like, I
Yeah.
genuinely do
Freezing out.
sound like Charlie Brown's teacher sometimes in the middle of a lecture. I'm talking, it turns out to wah, wah, wah.
So David, could you send us like recaps then of the meeting, and that maybe that would be helpful for all of us?
We
You
can.
know,
And
yeah.
Henry, you were taking notes too, were you not?
Yes, I was.
So we will, Henry will send out the recap notes and we'll go from there.
Excellent. Good.
So I guess just to finish up, Henry, is there anything else you'd like to bring up or discuss?
No, you were talking about getting, still remaining on internet with the elderly. Is there any money involved, like from the state or something, to get people, some computers that don't have them, like they did for all the kids in their learning?
It's funny. Emily was talking about something about that. I think she was doing it as a loaning program. I don't think they're doing it to give them, permanently, but she was talking about loaning computers or iPads, I guess it was. I think iPads.
Yeah. Because a lot of them, I'm sure, don't have any devices that they can get on the internet with.
No,
Yeah.
that part is definitely true.
And that might be something that you could bring up with Mike Dutton. Can the town write a grant for its citizens with income issues to have this, especially for those who are disabled or in the housing authority. But the real challenge then is paying for Wi-Fi and
Yeah.
all of that. So
Yeah.
even if we got them the technology, would they be able to pay for the Wi-Fi to use it?
Right.
So it's kind of complicated. I can see perhaps providing Wi-Fi in like a community room, but if
Mhm.
they're afraid to leave their apartment for whatever
Yeah.
reason, then they wouldn't access that. So I don't have a good solution, but I do like the idea of making it more accessible. I just don't know how to make it accessible for everybody.
For everybody.
I think what's also a great idea, which I've seen, I don't know what station it is it 98 on cable? There seems to be a lot of offerings that you can, watch a lot of different classes and programs and things like that, every day of the week, whatever. So maybe if there's more different offerings that are put on through Jeff Fowler, through cable or whatever, that might even be, to think about that too, something different for them, for people too, so.
Good.
Yeah.
That was a good idea, Henry. Lorraine, anything else you'd like to bring up?
No, I would still be interested. I haven't really started, but what I've been doing is I even went on the Mass Office on Disability website to look at what their brochure looks like.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still kind of, toying around with maybe some thoughts on what we could, put on in our brochure or whatever. And so I actually went online last night to see what other towns are doing on their disabilities commission and what it looks like and stuff too. So I've been kind of thinking about like the brochure and what we could probably put on it, town-wise on our disabilities commission. So,
Good. That's a great idea. Gloria?
Approval.
yeah, she can't hear.
Okay. Karen, is anything else you'd like to bring up?
The only thing is classes are over on Monday, so my schedule is much more flexible in May, June, July, and August.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Well, I can't
Maybe-
believe classes are over already. That's great, huh?
Wow. Maybe you want to get away, Karen, huh? Right?
Oh man.
Oh,
You know,
man,
at this point, just
brutal.
getting out of the apartment feels like getting away. Like,
Yeah.
woohoo, I went to Roach Brothers.
Boy.
Well, it's good to hear anyway. So, you're going to have a great summer, I'm sure.
Mhm.
Okay, I think that covers everything. So we'll plan to get together again May 26th at 3 o'clock. And Henry will send out a recap of the meeting. And
Excellent.
we'll hear your emails in regards to some of your ideas and go from there. So thank you, everyone. It was a great meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care. Thanks a
Thanks.
lot.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye now.
Bye.
Thanks, David. Send me the link, okay?
Okay.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.
Frustrating, so frustrating.